Good evening, dear children. How's everything? Hope everything is going well. Students, shall we rewind the previous class? Are you ready? Okay, very good. Students, let me check whether you remember the previous class. So, I am going to ask you some questions. What's the title of the story? Yes, making a mango pickle. Making a mango pickle is a story taken from the film Pathir Panchali. Then, who are the main characters in the story? Tell me. Yes, Appu and Durga are the main characters in the story. What was Appu doing at the beginning of the story? Yes, Appu was playing in the veranda of his house. Who called Appu when he was playing? Durga called Appu when he was playing. How was Durga described in the story? Durga was about 11. She was thin and darker than Appu. She wore glass bangles and a dirty sari. She had windswept, dry hair. Which sentence tells that Durga is pretty? Yes, very good. On her finely shaped face, her eyes shone large like her brother's. This line shows that Durga is pretty. Now, shall we move on to the rest of the story? So, all of you take your English text and take page number 27. Now, all of you look at the third paragraph. So, I'm going to read this paragraph. All of you listen carefully. What's it? Asked Appu, jumping off the veranda in front of their house and coming up to her. Durga held a half coconut shell in her hands. She lowered it to show Appu its contents. Slices of tender green mango before the seed had hardened. Then, in an undertone, is Ma back from the cut yet? No, said Appu, shaking his head. What was Appu doing in the veranda? Yes, Appu was playing in the veranda. When Appu heard the call of Durga, what did he do? Yes, here Appu jumped off the veranda in front of their house and he coming up to her means came near to Durga and he asked, "What is it?" Students, in the first sentence, did you see the phrasal verb jumping off? What does it mean? Yes, jump off means jump down. Now, all of you look at the second sentence. Durga held a half coconut shell in her hands. Here, held is the past tense of hold. What do you mean by hold? Hold means to carry. So, what Durga held in her hand? Yes, a half coconut shell. Now, what do you mean by coconut shell? Have you ever seen that? Now, all of you look at this picture. This is the picture of coconut shell. I know that you have already seen this in your home, right? So, Durga held a half coconut shell in her hands. Then, what did she do? She lowered it to show Appu its contents. So, what do you mean by lowered? Lower means move in a downward direction. So, Durga lowered it to show Appu its contents. Now, what do you mean by contents? Here, contents means what is contained in the coconut shell. So, Durga lowered the coconut shell and show Appu what is contained in it. So, what was there in the coconut shell? Yes, in the coconut shell, there were slices of tender green mango in it. What do you mean by slices? Yes, slices means pieces. So here were some pieces of tender green mango in the coconut shell. Now you can see a picture of tender green mangoes. I know that it's familiar to you. Now all of you look the next sentence. Then in an undertone, is Ma back from the cut yet? Who asked this? Yes, Durga asked this to Appu. Here, what do you mean by undertone? Yes, undertone means to say very quietly. So, Durga asked in a low voice that, is Ma back from the cut yet? Here, Ma indicates mother. Cut means passage leading down to a river. So, what do you understand from this sentence? Here, where were their mother? Yes, their mother went to wash clothes. Students, why did Durga inquire her mother? Before knowing that, I want to ask you some questions. Did you steal anything from the kitchen in the absence of your parents? Yes, some of you are telling yes. I think your siblings also joined with you in the planning of stealing something. Am I right? So here, Appu and Durga are planning to do something like that. That's why Durga inquired her mother. Then what was Appu's reply? Yes, Appu replied no by shaking his head. Students, did you understand up to this? Okay, now all of you take the next page, page number 28. Now I'm going to read this. All of you listen carefully. Can you fetch me a bit of oil and some salt? She asked him secretively. I will pickle these. Where did you get them from, Didi? Apu was delighted. They were lying on the ground just under the Sindur Kundo tree. Now get me a pinch of salt and some oil, will you? Now all of you look at the first sentence. Here, Durga asked Apu secretively to get her a bit of oil and some salt. Here, what's the meaning of fetch? Fetch means to get something. Then Durga said that she will pickle it by using the ingredients like oil and salt. Here, pickle is the verb which indicates an action. Here, the word pickle means to make pickle by using the ingredients. Students, here you can see the image of mango pickle. Did you see it? So here Durga and Appu are planning to make mango pickle. Students, now all of you look the next sentence. Where did you get them from, Didi? Appu was delighted. Appu asked Durga with great anxiety about the place from where she got the mango. Students, here Appu addressed his sister Durga as Didi. So what's the meaning of Didi? Didi means elder sister. That's why Appu called his sister as Didi. Here, delighted is the past tense of delight. So what do you mean by delight? The word delight means pleasure or happiness. Now all of you look the next paragraph. They were lying on the ground just under the Sindur Kundo tree. Now get me a pinch of salt and some oil, will you? So we discussed that Appu asked Durga about the place from where she got the mango. So what was the reply of Durga? Yes, she replied that she got them from under the Sindur Kundo tree. So what is Sindur Kundo tree? Did you ever see that tree? Students, All of you look at this picture. What is this? Yes, this is Sindhur Kundo tree. So, Durga got the mango from under the Sindhur Kundo tree. Look the last sentence. Here, Durga requested Appu to get her a pinch of salt and some oil. Students, now all of you look the next paragraph. I am going to read it and all of you listen attentively. But Ma will give it to me if I bring down the oil pot from the shelf, replied Appu, scared. Run and get it fast. It will be a while before she is back. She has gone to wash the clothes. Hurry up. Students, here Appu scared about his mother's punishment for bringing down the oil pot from the shelf. In this first paragraph, did you see a phrasal verb bring down? Yes. What does it mean? It means to cause to fall. Here, scared is the past tense of the word scare. Now, what do you mean by scare? Scare means to cause great fear. Look at this picture. Here, a boy is scared of something. Here, Appu was scared of his mother's punishment. Here, Durga asked Appu to run and get it fast. She compelled him to go and get salt and oil before the mother came after washing clothes. Here, did you see the word hurry up? What does it mean? Hurry up means to do something more quickly. Students, hope you all understood the story up to this. Am I right? Students, in the next class, I will ask you some questions based on the portions that we have studied today. Students, I will give you notes in the last of this story. All of you study very well and we will meet in the next class. Thank you, dear children.